My name's Remington Smith. I'm with Diversified. We did all the AV across campus, classroom systems, gym, commons, weight room, wrestling, and we're also doing the theater as well. So right now we're in the main gym space. The main gym is designed to be kind of the heart of the gym area. Then you have the aux gym, and then wrestling is also a part of the system. There's two modes to your gym system. There's an auto mode and a manual mode if you were to have someone operating the system. So we'll cover auto mode first because that's what you're going to use most of the time, and then we can get into the manual mode. The manual mode will operate similarly to the way that the theater system operates. The soundboard in the theater, because there's a soundboard in here, same thing in the commons. So, but with that, before we get too far, I want to zoom back to the 100,000 foot view, and we're going to just walk through where everything's located in the space so that you know where everything is at. In the gym, we did not do the video portion. We did the video feed up to the scoreboard, and then that's where our participation with video stops, and then it takes over from Daktronics at that point. So I'm responsible for everything up to that point. And then from there, it's on them to work on that part. So all of the brain of your system, where all the important equipment lives, is right inside the closet here. We've got the video scoreboard equipment is at the top, and then all of your AV equipment is below that. Wireless microphones, control processors, everything that runs the system, amplifiers.
8-track?
No 8-track, but they're really the only thing that you're ever going to need to do anything with in this rack is the drawer which keeps the equipment. It has the equipment stored in it. So in the drawer for this room, there is 30 listen assist headsets, which are for the listen assist packs. The charger for the packs is proprietary, and it's back ordered right now. So as soon as it gets here, the transmitters will be here as well. There's 30 of those and a charger for them. You'll have to decide where you keep them. A lot of facilities will have them in the office and then check them out to people, or put them in concessions and check them out to people who need them. It's just an earpiece for listen assist, so that's hearing assistive devices for those that are hearing impaired. So that works for if you have a hearing impairment. There's a little body pack transmitter that receives audio so that they can turn up the audio and isolate to hear what's going on. Yep, anything that's coming out of the speakers is routed to the listen assist. So part of the reason for that is that it's required by code for a certain amount of transmitters per number of occupants for the space. I think it's like 50 occupants per transmitter. And so they've got 30 for the gym, 20 for the commons, and I think another 30 in the theater. So these are the earbuds that go with those. With a hearing impairment, part of the reason for needing the packs is that the ambient noise makes it really difficult to be able to hear what's going on. So this gives them a way to isolate them down to what's going on actually in the environment rather than the people talking next to them. The other things that you'll find in this drawer are the wireless microphones for the commons and for the gym, as well as the wired microphones. When we get to the plates, you'll see the wired microphone jacks. Those are in here, the mics are. And then there are two referee headsets that are for the gym, and you have two handheld 58s, mic 1 and mic 2. which you'll see on the touch panel when we get over there. And then there are 2 of these body packs, 3 and 4. And those are, they all run on AA's. You can use rechargeable batteries. You can get the proprietary batteries. It'll tell you exactly how many minutes of runtime you have left, which is kind of cool to be able to know when your mic is going to die, rather than guesstimating how many bars you have and how many minutes that might last. But you can use alkalines or whatever. They use a standard AA.
So those referee ones are for when the referee's making a call?
Yeah.
So we can hear it. So would that work on the football field too?
No.
No.
I don't recall. I don't think we have any AV out there.
Okay.
So they wouldn't at this point. All of the microphones are room specific. So they're specific. Mic 1 through 4 is specific to the gym. Commons, they're labeled COM 101 through 4 is specific to the commons. You'll have some that are labeled TH 1 through 4. That's the theater. The antennas for those mics are mounted in the room, so they only work in the room. If you take them away from the room, they have about a 300-foot line of sight range. So you go through a concrete wall into another room, you may not get reception. And that includes going into like wrestling with the wireless mics. It's going to be hit or miss over there. But you have wired mics over there.
So there are 4?
There's 4.
So, but there's not a specific oxygen mic. This
Correct.
one here reaches over there.
It should reach.
Stays within
It,
that 300
yeah.
feet or whatever.
Yeah, it should reach. If it does, if there is an issue with it, there may be a corner or something where there's some blockage, or sometimes you'll get a bunch of cell phones in the room and you'll have an issue with a wireless mic. But if that happens, there's wired mic jacks in there as well, so then you can use those instead.
Can I just clarify? There's 4, or for the referee headsets, there's 2.
Correct.
But what if there's 3 basketball games going on because we have 3 courts?
It was specified with 2,
Okay.
so you can always add more.
You could
The
buy
way,
one and attach it and all.
correct, yeah. The way that I describe it is you guys are moving into a new house, right? When you move into your house, you bring all your boxes in, you start unpacking and you're like, oh man, I need coat hooks and a mirror and a towel rack. So those are the kinds of things that you go back and you say, okay, now that we're in here, we actually need these things. So it gives you the ability, there's a lot of flexibility in the system, extra inputs and outputs, so you can integrate extra equipment in the future as you need. So they built that into the design.
Do you do screens? Did you do the screen out there, your company?
We did the projector. We didn't do the screen itself. We do typically do screens, but on this one, that was broken out to a different subcontractor. So that's the parts and pieces of equipment for the most part, with the exception of the portable system, which we'll get to in a little while. So
like 1 through 4, do you still need that antenna pack with you, or is that only for the referee?
yeah, so the pack is what the referee mic plugs into.
Okay, gotcha. So it's
Yeah.
not for the other mics. All right.
Correct. Yeah. And the packs also come with a little lapel microphone. So if you were to do like an assembly and you had a keynote speaker, you could put a lapel mic on them, so they don't have to have a Britney Spears style mic.
Oh, cool.
So channel-wise and frequency-wise, we would have been on portable systems before where sometimes you have to change channel because we shouldn't have to do any of that.
Should not have to do that. Everything is configured. We scanned the area and deployed frequencies that are known to be clear. The nature of RF, radio frequencies, which is how these mics work, is that there's always things changing. If you had, say, off-campus security come on and they bring their radios, there's a possibility of some conflicts there. I scanned while you guys had your radios on campus, so we will miss those channels. I saw them pop up when I was scanning. So yeah, you should be you should be clear. If you ever run into any issues, you're under warranty. Feel free to reach out to our service department. They'll deploy someone to make sure that those get taken care of.
And then was one other general question about this room? There's no power on off or anything. That just,
Nope, everything happens from your touch panel.
Yeah, so we don't mess with anything on that.
Correct. Yep, other than the drawer. Pull the drawer out to get your equipment. That's all you have to do.
And then just one thing, just
Yeah.
for these guys, this unit goes up to here. The unit up top is Daptronics, so that's for the video screen.
Yeah.
For the scoreboard.
Yep.
Just so
And
it's operational now.
yeah, and we verified. I don't know the operation on the video wall, but we verified the signal going into the video wall with a test monitor, so it is working. So if it isn't working beyond that point, then that's some programming on their side.
We'll have detailed training on that coming up.
Yep.
We had a general quick, just
Here's how it works. Totally. So we're gonna head over this way towards the door over there so that we can take a look at the panel. Yeah, that's the portable system. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Dude, you've done a ton of these, man. I mean, good stuff. That's super helpful.
Well, she's over here, huh? What
Yep.
was the reason why she was farther away from the sound?
I can't speak to why the architect and consultant spec'd the location. They said we want it there, and we said okay. That's where it goes. So within the space, all the AV panels are covered by locking spring-loaded boxes. If you see a white box, it is an AV panel. Whether that's a touch panel or an input plate, they're all consistent across the space. So there is one touch panel that controls all of the systems for the gym area. That's this one. And then you've got AV plates. There's 3 in the main gym. There's one over by the closet underneath the hoop controller behind that equipment there. Then there is this one on the east wall here, and then we have the north wall on that side. Directly the other side of that, on the south side of the aux gym, you're going to see another box like that. That is the input plate for the aux gym. And then over in wrestling, directly to the left of the door. It's confusing when people say right to the left. Directly to the left, you've got the input plate for wrestling. Wrestling does not have speakers mounted in the space. It was intended to use the portable system if you need speakers in there. So when we get to that, I'll show you how that works. But you've got a couple of inputs and the ability to plug in the mixer over there and utilize the portable system in that space.
Weight room though, also, or not?
Weight room is separate. Yeah, it has speakers. You could plug in the portable system if you wanted to. Generally speaking, that would be overkill for a weight room. But it's got 2 XLR inputs and an aux in for like a phone or whatever. So, which we'll cover that when we get in there. So why don't we stop recording here, and then, like used to be in the old days, you'd have a rack unit that has your various reverbs and stuff. Now it's all built into the desk, so you don't have to have external gear.
So plug those speakers in.
Yep.
And you want to hook up, obviously, a microphone and an auxiliary cord.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a certain setting I need to have it on? Let's just go right to it.
So with the scope of work that I was given, it was designed to work in this configuration. So anything beyond that, you're going to have to configure, or I can come in later and help you configure that. But under the scope of work, I have to complete to the T what they tell us that we're doing. So again, the process, if you were going to plug a mic into the back here, would be to select your channel. You're going to go to your menu screen, which looks like a multicolored, plate of M&Ms. You're going to select input, and you'll notice that the labels change as you move across. So you've got, it gives you your different channels, so it's by select. So then you're going to use your rotary here. You're going to scroll down to where it says Dante currently.
Yeah, Dante.
And then you're going to push down on the encoder. You're going to select your over to your microphone, select it, and it'll give you your, it'll route that channel into that fader channel.
And this, so what's on this channel, this is the master volume?
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
So that's the same process, whether or not you're going to use a mic to it in here or out on the football field.
In here, you wouldn't need to configure it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Unless you've taken it out to the football field, and then you either need to reconfigure it in here or just reload the show file. So, which it tells you in the manual how to load the show file. So there's a specific process for that. Other questions on the mixer?
Yeah, last question. So if we're running, if we want to just use these two speakers as like floor speakers on the corner, facing like one side's facing that way and one side's facing this way. But we're also using the house system for the assembly, just adds a little extra. We would just plug this in right here, like you're saying.
Yep.
And plug the speakers in and station them out there where we need.
Yep.
And it should just go, right?
It would just go, yeah. You would turn up your fader just like you would on any other soundboard. Anything that you have plugged into the walls or any of these inputs, if you routed them, would then be routed out through the soundboard.
Okay. All right. Well, something to practice one of these days.
Yeah. Yep. Get familiar with it.
Yeah, it just needs practice.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Any other questions?
No.
All right. As far as maintenance, there's not a whole lot you have to do. The amplifier in the portable rack, it has, you can kind of see the fuzzy foam stuff on the front of it. It draws air through it, so if you take it outside, it'll get dusty. You just need to vacuum it. Same thing with any of the amplifiers in that rack, they're at the bottom. The front and back of them have filters, so just once a year vacuum them so that they pass air through accurately. Because amplifiers do create a lot of heat, so you want to make sure
it
that
outside, right? No big
That's
bumps,
what I was going to
no-
ask
yeah,
too,
like,
because I mean, does this travel pretty well
It
outside?
travels fairly
I mean,
well,
it's gonna
yeah.
handle the seams and the concrete,
Yeah.
the sidewalk and stuff. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's designed to be pretty rugged. I mean,
Good.
this is a system that people would throw on a semi-truck to take to concerts.
Okay. Cool.
So,
That was another thing that was lacking in one of the previous reviews. Now, the case, that doesn't, the case just covers up the top, right?
Yeah,
It doesn't
so let
cover
me-
up the face, does it?
it does. It covers everything, actually.
Oh, it does? Oh,
Yeah, let me show you how that works. So, your
And one quick thing, I saw you just unplug it there.
Yes.
But there's no like reverse when you shut it down. You
correct.
just
Yeah,
let
there's
it-
no
Okay.
specific shutdown
And
process.
if you unplug that with speakers plugged in, is it going to pop the speaker? I mean, is it going to do that little?
Yeah, if you plug in, not when you power it down, but when you power it up, it would.
It'll do the
Yeah.
little pop on the speakers.
Yep.
But that's not harmful or anything.
Not harmful. The best thing to do is either wait until the rack is powered up to plug in the speakers, or
Okay.
on the front there's a power button right underneath the knob there, and you can power that off so that it won't pop, and then you can turn on the the mixer and turn that on. Most digital mixers in this day and age don't send out the same kind of pop that the old analog ones did. So it's not as damaging. It's a lot more forgiving. So again, they've all got spiffy little zip or Velcro ties on them. All your cables can sit in the back of the rack here.
We can plug this box in there too. Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it can plug in anywhere.
The speakers reach a little farther to those.
Yeah, you can plug in here, either side of the gym, aux gym, wrestling, any of those spaces.
50-foot cables or?
Yeah, they're 50s.
Okay.
Pretty sure they're either 25 or 50. I'd have to check to be sure, but let's see. That's probably 25. But you can get up to 100 feet if you wanted more length. So, so with these, you've got there's a front and a back. The inside has the holes in it, and there's little feet on the bottom of it that key into it, so it just slips in there like that, and then you just tap it, and it'll lock onto those tabs. And then the same thing on the front.
That's kind of cool how that sits inside.
Yeah, and they aren't specific which one's front and which one's back. They're identical. So same thing, you just tap it in and it locks in. And then your lid, I always put the logo to the front. That way I know which side's the front and I don't have to turn stuff around. Slide that over the top. And then you've got latches on the sides. And you can snug those down. You've got one on each of all four corners. Just like that. And then there's also, if you wanted it, you can actually take this off the casters. You can pull the whole rack up and set it off the casters so that, you know, if you were to put it on top of a table or somewhere where you don't want it to roll, you can actually undo the four bottom latches on each of the corners and pull it right off of the wheels. So, pretty slick little system.
So no power to the speakers?
Nope, just one cable.
From there. Well, that's
Yep.
nice too.
Yeah.
Wow. We need to go to the
Yeah, we'll walk over there and
weight room, or I mean, are we going to do anything there? Right? 'Cause
touch panel we had in the other space. You've got your same input configurations that we had in the gym. Auto mix, AV network, HDMI.
HDMI is the green one there, right?
Yep.
Ken?
Yeah, it's
That's
on
what they were
the.
plugging in today was
Yeah.
HDMI,
Yep.
right? Like you were doing.
Yeah, exactly. The AV system in here, when you power it on, you've got system control, and you can turn on the projector and it'll automatically drop the screen when you turn it on. It's going to turn on the projector.
Is
You
there any
can.
way to get, I'm just curious, quick question, is there any way
Sure.
to get that button to, can you program that button darkens up when you have
Yes.
it turned on?
It's on my punch list right now.
Okay, perfect, okay, good, because I think people, at least this point, nobody's smacking on it, but I mean, oh, it's not on yet, or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah, and it has a timer built in, so it'll wait for the screen to come down and it'll warm up the projector and go through its whole process. So I always tell people you just got to be patient because it does take time for both of those things to happen. So it'll drop down to its configured height, and then you've got projector mute, and then projector back off. We'll turn off the projector, let it cool down, roll the screen up. The screen was installed by another contractor. They also gave you a physical control here, so it is possible to control the screen without the projector being controlled. So if you come in and the screen's down but nothing's working, it's probably because someone brought the screen in with the physical control rather than the control system.
Oh, okay.
So
Now, if we wanted to, though, we could bring the screen down with that, and just because, I mean, it sits at a high, we'd lose some of our bottom image, but we could raise it up a foot.
Yeah.
Right? If we wanted it out of like the 6'1" kid jumping up and hitting the screen with
Yeah.
where in its resting spot, it kind of
Can a
Yeah.
kid walk up and lower it right now?
Yes.
We need boxes on that.
Yeah, you may want, because there's light controls and stuff here too. But yeah, that is possible. The other place that you have an AV panel other than there is at the back of the room. So we'll walk back there and I'll show you that as well. So it's back over this way. It kind of hides, so I want to point out where it's at. So back here behind the pole, you've got another HDMI input, which you can select. And then you've got two more auto mix jacks and the AV network, so you can plug in the portable mixer. So portable mixer is similar to the rack is identical. Configuration is slightly different from what was in the gym. Inside the box here are some wired mics and the earbuds for the packs, which we'll bring over the packs as soon as the listen assist packs, as soon as we get the charger for them, which Skanska is aware of. So we'll get, so you've got this, 2 speaker cables, the network cable for the mixer, and the 2 speakers that go in this space. And again, this system can operate by itself, or you can use it as part of the space. So
Again, you can plug in here. Can we get the gym noise or mic and all that?
no, there's no connection between the gym and here. They're 2 physically isolated systems. And the same thing from theater to here, they're physically separated.
I thought they were going to be the same so that you could watch a concert. And then, like live feed if we overloaded the theater. You know?
Currently, that isn't the way it's configured.
Okay.
It is possible to do that, but that's not the way that the system was
Right, we
designed,
understand, yeah.
and there's no wire run currently for that. So, any questions on the commons? Any other questions?
Where's this being stored at, guys?
question.
Kind of waiting for a spot to go.
Yeah, I would say that closet would make sense to me, but
Do the referee mics work out here? Because sometimes we get some pretty heated meetings going, you know.
well, you do have the 2 lapel mics in here, which you could use the same referee headsets in here if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
Thank you.
yeah, for sure. And if you guys do figure out, or when you do figure out where you want to store this stuff, let us know. We can put it in whatever that spot is.
Okay. So when is it go from being yours to being ours, responsibility-wise?
Responsibility-wise, it is as soon as we sign it, as soon as you guys sign off as receiving it. So Skanska, Sam, and his crew are working on that currently.
Okay, so that hasn't happened yet. So
That's correct.
you'll let us know. We'll know when that happens, and then
Yep.
we want to keep these things. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to sign it. So cool.
Just for the purpose of, you know, hey, listen, we got to take care of this. This is a not for replacement cost already, but I mean, what's it fair to say that this is the replacement cost is on something like this?
You're looking at about 15 to 20 grand right here.
Okay. So I mean, just when we have anybody using it, kids using it, hey, this is not some $1,000
Right.
equipment here. It's 20 grand worth of stuff. So
Yeah.
take care of it.
Yeah, the mixers, you know, I think it's about 5,000, and then you've got equipment in the rack too. So
Thanks, Remington. Appreciate it.
You betcha.
Right, I can't wait to see how leadership functions.